you are one of the type of professors that if I were still at Stanford, I would look to see if you were offering any class during the next quarter so I could take it no matter what it was. So you're like that level of teacher, and I always learned something maybe that I didn't even plan from taking a course of yours. So I put you in that
Thank you.
category, and I think anyone would benefit from taking really anything that you're offering at any point in time.
Thank you.
And then also, really, like, it's a really interesting time to look at this sort of online, unaffiliated university level opportunities of courses, and this is a good place to start.
Hello, MC.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well, thanks. And you?
I'm good.
I was wondering if you could just say a little bit about your background, why you were interested in taking courses on Strauss and Heidegger and Dugin and Plato at all, and then, what you've gotten out of the courses and whether they've been valuable in what you were hoping to accomplish.
So I would say just curiosity. I'm always interested in learning new things and learning, I guess, new ways to navigate the world and different ways of thinking about things. I tend to meld different disciplines together when I'm trying to problem solve, either in my professional life or personal life. I think I just gravitate towards doing that. So I like to learn new areas and kind of put them all together. And then I would say also, with COVID and the pandemic, there was a lot of need for intellectual stimulation at that time because you're not getting out, meeting people, talking to people, going to lectures and things like that. So I think part of that, the timing was really good to start doing that. But then I really, really enjoyed your teaching style and the way that you make students think hard about what they're reading and to really digest it and kind of make it your own. And that is something that doesn't happen so much anymore. And I think once you get out of college and graduate school as well, that you don't have as many opportunities for that.
How would you say the online programs, the one that you took with me in particular, but the other ones as well, compare to the university experience?
Yeah, I think that from the university experience, it's similar in a salon style class. So maybe a graduate level course or a small undergraduate level course where there's a lot more interaction and guidance. I mean, it's like guided discussion, which even when by the time I graduated school was kind of coming to extinction as well. That kind of a deep discussion in small classes. So it's special in that regard, I think, and also in terms of the free thinking. Everybody has different perspectives and different views, and you learn from that. I think from the other students as well.
All right, great. Because that's one of the things I've been thinking about as a point of comparison. People who want to know, online courses of the kind that I'm teaching versus going to a university. Some of the obvious things, like you can't necessarily, in all cases, travel to where you want to be for the university, whereas online you have that convenience. Mm-hmm. But it's important for me to try to make sure that the standard is high as well, that the content is good and thoughtful, and that it's not just because it's not in a university doesn't mean that suddenly it's a standardless, or like, you know what I mean, that there's still rigor and there's still insight and depth and things like that. So I know you've already written to me, and I get the sense, that was the kind of experience for you. But did you have any concern about the quality or level of instruction? Did it seem like it was fair for everybody who was in the class? Because people are at different levels, like you said, different backgrounds, different professional walks of life.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there's a wide variety of level of familiarity as well with the material and the particular philosophers also. I mean, I was a political science and humanities creative writing major. So not a lot of philosophy per se in my background, but probably more from law school in terms of thinking about the purpose of the law and sort of larger issues with regard to the law. But I don't have a strong philosophy background, but I'm interested in learning about different filters and different ways of looking at things and examining the world and examining problems. And there were some people who were quite familiar in both of the classes, clearly were on their way to a PhD or were about to get one in philosophy. And I actually learned from those folks some ways of thinking about, other comparative philosophers or just like the high level they were operating at. In my view, if you always want to be with people that are a higher level than you with regard to something, because that's how you level up and that's how you learn. So it doesn't bother me that there's different levels like that. And then just in terms of how you treat everyone with respect, and you don't belittle anyone who doesn't have that level of experience, and you have a level of clarity about the material that only comes from having a deep understanding of it and having worked with it for a long time. And I think that's also the benefit. I've had some of the books that and some of the articles that you worked through in the classes, but sitting down and saying, hey, after a long day of work, I'm just going to sit on the couch and leisurely read this very dense material. It's probably not going to happen in the same way, and also wouldn't have gotten them as much out of it without your guiding the discussion and also listening to other students' perspectives on things.